Let's be real. Have you ever walked into a room and felt something shift? The smile was there, but the energy wasn't right. Maybe you've questioned yourself. Am I imagining this? No, you're not. That off feeling? That's silent envy. Hidden hate dressed up as fake support. Today, we're exposing it all, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And baby, that's when the glow-up really begins. Meet Nia. She always believed that real friends were supposed to celebrate you. So when she landed a six-figure promotion, the first person she called was her childhood bestie, Shay. Shay answered on the second ring. Wow, congrats! I mean, I didn't think they'd pick you, but that's huge. They laughed. But later, Nia sat in the quiet. That sentence kept echoing. I didn't think they'd pick you. At first, she brushed it off. Shay had always been a little blunt. But things started feeling different. Shay stopped calling. Stopped showing up. And when they were together, the compliments started coming with a sting. That's a cute outfit. You're really doing the most now, huh? You always have to be so extra these days. Nia was heartbroken. She thought she was imagining it. But her spirit felt drained every time they spoke. She started shrinking herself, downplaying her wins, laughing off the jabs, and pretending it didn't hurt. But inside, she was unraveling. She started questioning her worth. Wondering if maybe she was too much. Maybe she had changed. Her joy started fading, not because of failure, but because someone she loved couldn't clap without competition in their heart. And the worst part? Shay wasn't just a friend. She was like a sister. That betrayal cuts deeper than any stranger ever could. Let me know if you've ever felt this way too. Someone you love claps for you, but something feels off. Drop an emoji if your intuition ever warned you before your heart caught on. This video is for every radiant rebel who's ever felt guilty for glowing. We're breaking down the signs of hidden jealousy, the ones masked by fake support, shady compliments, and secret envy. Because once you learn to spot it, you'll never doubt yourself again. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to protect your peace, stand tall in your success, and never shrink again for anyone else's comfort. And if this message hits home, share this video with someone who needs it. Subscribe if you're ready to keep your circle solid and your energy protected. Your glow deserves to be safe. What jealousy really looks like. Jealousy doesn't always show up loud. It doesn't wear a label. Sometimes, it walks in dressed as support, wrapped in a smile, and whispers just low enough to make you question yourself. It sounds like a compliment, but something in the tone feels sharp. Dismissive. Off. You're so lucky. I could never wear something that tight. They say it with a smirk, arms crossed, eyes scanning you like a checklist. Or this one. You really posted that? Girl, you're bold. They laugh, but it's that laugh that isn't quite a laugh. It's laced with judgment. And suddenly, you feel exposed. And here's the worst part, these comments come from people you thought were in your corner. People you trusted. So, you don't just brush it off. You absorb it. You go home and start thinking. Was I doing too much? Did I look desperate? Maybe I should tone it down next time. And just like that, the spiral begins. You start shrinking. Not physically, but energetically. You wear less color. You laugh a little softer. You stop sharing your wins. You hesitate before posting, speaking, shining. Why? Because deep down, that whisper stuck to your confidence like a stain. It's not always about what they say, it's about how it makes you feel. And if you've ever walked away from a conversation feeling drained, small, or suddenly unsure of yourself, that's not you being insecure. That's your intuition catching the jealousy before your mind could explain it. This is exactly why spotting jealousy early is so important. Because when you can see it clearly, you stop internalizing it. You stop carrying the weight of someone else's insecurity. And the truth is, most of the time, their envy isn't even about you. It's about what you represent. Your confidence. Your growth. Your light. And that can be hard for someone who still hasn't found their own. But you don't owe anyone the dimming of your glow. Radiant rebels, if this is hitting you deep, say it out loud, no more shrinking for people who pretend to clap but secretly crumble when you rise. You deserve friendships that feel like sunlight. Not shadow. Not shade. Drop a comment if this hit you. If you've ever doubted your shine because of someone else's silence, sarcasm, or fake praise, you are not alone. And you don't have to carry that confusion any longer. This glow up? It's yours. And no secret shade can stop it. Share this with a friend who needs to hear this. And subscribe if you're ready to step into your full power, unapologetically, beautifully, and boldly. You're not just glowing, you're awakening. Why people get jealous, intimate, and imperfect. Let's really unpack this together, because it's something so many of us feel, but rarely talk about. Jealousy doesn't just show up out of nowhere. It's a reaction. A response. A reflection of someone's inner world, not your outer glow. But when you're on the receiving end, it can feel confusing, isolating, and honestly, really painful. We're taught to look for enemies and strangers, but the deepest stings often come from the people sitting right next to us. The friend who used to hype you up, now makes little digs. The cousin who used to dream with you, goes silent the moment your dreams become real. The coworker who smiled through your struggle, suddenly turns cold when you start rising. That switch up feels so personal, doesn't it? It feels like betrayal, rejection, abandonment. But what if I told you, it's not really about you? Here's what most people won't admit. Jealousy is just unhealed insecurity. It's what shows up when someone sees you doing, becoming, or living in a way that challenges what they believe is possible for themselves. You become a mirror. Not of who they are, but of who they aren't yet. Or who they were too scared to become. And sometimes, people mistake your glow as arrogance, when really, it's healing. It's joy. It's your hard work finally blooming. But instead of asking how you did it, or clapping because you made it through, they retreat. They pull back. Because your confidence triggers their doubt. Your peace disrupts their chaos. Your glow makes them feel left behind. That's the part no one wants to say out loud. And it's complicated, because jealousy isn't always rooted in evil intentions. Sometimes, it's rooted in deep, quiet pain. People feel invisible. Or stuck. Or like life forgot about them. And then they look up and see you shining. And it hurts. It's not that they don't love you. It's that they're struggling to love themselves in your light. I remember when I experienced this firsthand. It was one of the most eye-opening moments of my journey. When I was broke and struggling, everyone around me seemed supportive. They'd repost my content, send little "you got this" messages, tell me how proud they were just for trying. But the moment things started shifting, new job, new car, new confidence, I noticed something else. Silence. The support disappeared. People stopped reaching out. The energy changed. Suddenly, I wasn't the underdog. I was the proof that you can come out of it. And that's what made them uncomfortable. Because I wasn't the same anymore. I wasn't surviving, I was glowing. And some people aren't ready to witness your glow when they're still in the dark with themselves. At first, I took it personally. I thought maybe I had changed too much. Maybe I was becoming too distant, too polished, too confident. But deep down, I knew the truth, I wasn't the problem. My growth just revealed what had been there all along. And that silence? It was louder than any insult. It was the unspoken jealousy. The quiet resentment. The disguised discomfort of watching someone else evolve when they haven't even begun. This is why protecting your energy is more than just blocking bad vibes, it's about understanding them first. When you realize where jealousy comes from, it loses its power over you. You stop spiraling. You stop shrinking. You stop making excuses for the people who were only ever comfortable with your pain, not your power. So if you've been questioning someone's energy lately, wondering why their vibe changed the moment you leveled up, you're not wrong for noticing. And you're definitely not wrong for protecting your peace. In the next part of this video, I'm going to walk you through the real signs of jealousy, especially when it hides behind fake support, and how to respond with confidence, not confusion. You're not crazy. You're evolving. And not everyone can handle that. But that's not your problem to fix. It's your freedom to claim. Jealousy can feel so personal. But here's the truth most people don't realize until they've been through it. It's not actually about you. It's about what you trigger in them. Jealousy comes from scarcity. That deep belief that there's not enough to go around, enough love, enough success, enough beauty, enough attention. So when someone sees you shining, their first thought isn't "good for her," it's "why her, not me?" And it stings, because that question has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with what they feel they're missing. It's not your glow, it's their shadow. You're simply standing in a light they haven't learned to walk toward yet. And rather than ask how you got there, some people choose to doubt, criticize, or distance themselves because it feels safer than confronting their own insecurities. This shows up quietly. Maybe they roll their eyes when you speak with confidence. Maybe they make a joke about your new look, but it doesn't feel playful. Maybe they talk about how you've changed, as if evolving was a crime. And without realizing it, you start carrying the weight of their discomfort. You start questioning yourself. Wondering if you're being too much, if your joy is offensive, if your glow up is something you should downplay. But this is your reminder, because I needed it too. You are not responsible for someone else's shadow. And you are not required to dim your light just because it makes someone uncomfortable. People don't envy your things. They envy how you carry what they don't understand. They don't just see your new car, your upgraded apartment, or your social media wins. They see your ease. Your resilience. Your quiet confidence that doesn't beg for permission. And if they haven't figured out how to build that for themselves, it can feel threatening. Even if you never meant it to. That's why it hurts the most when it comes from people you love. Because it's not coming from hate. It's coming from their fear. Fear that they've been left behind. Fear that they're not enough. Fear that you outgrew the version of them they felt safe around. But growth will always shake the room. And real love? Real friendship? It expands with you. It doesn't shrink you to stay comfortable. Radiant Rebel, I want you to hold on to this truth: your shine is not up for debate. Your softness, your confidence, your beauty, your success, it's not too much. It's a reflection of your healing, your hard work, your intention. And if someone can't celebrate that with you, from a real and grounded place, they are not your people. Not anymore. We all want to be loved through the struggle, but you deserve to be celebrated in the glow too. If this message touched something inside of you, share it with another radiant rebel who might be dimming her light just to keep the peace. She deserves to hear this too. Radiant Rebel. Let's slow down and really feel this part together. This is where everything starts to click, the moment you learn to spot jealousy, especially the kind hiding behind smiles that don't quite reach the eyes or compliments that don't feel genuine. Once you see it clearly, you stop blaming yourself for things that were never your fault. You stop shrinking to fit in. You stop overthinking every little interaction. You stop trying to explain your light to people who aren't ready to see it. Jealousy isn't always loud or obvious. It's sneaky. It's subtle. Sometimes it comes with a laugh that feels off. Sometimes it hides in long silences that speak louder than words. And if you've been taught to always give people the benefit of the doubt, you probably brushed these feelings aside more times than you realize. From this moment on, don't ignore what your intuition is telling you. Pay close attention to how people move around your success. Notice shifts in their tone, their energy, or when they suddenly go quiet. Trust what your spirit senses because it knows the truth before your mind can explain it. Let's walk through these signs slowly. Give yourself space between each one. Breathe. Reflect. This is how you start protecting your peace, by recognizing the quiet ways jealousy can sneak into your life. Absolutely, Radiant Rebel. Let's dive deeply into the first two signs, breaking them down with detail, emotion, and clarity to help you truly feel and recognize them. This is about trusting your experience and knowing exactly what to watch for when jealousy hides in plain sight. Sign 1, backhanded compliments. You hear someone say, "You're brave for wearing that." "I could never." At first, it sounds like praise, right? But then you catch the edge underneath. The word brave doesn't land like a compliment, it lands like a question, a challenge. Brave for what? For being bold, or for being reckless? The tone is key, a little smirk, folded arms, eyes that aren't quite kind. It feels less like encouragement and more like a subtle jab. This kind of comment leaves you confused. You replay it in your mind, wondering if you've misread it or if it was meant to sting. Your confidence wavers. Suddenly, the outfit you loved feels like a mistake. You ask yourself, was I trying too hard? Was this too much for her? Should I just tone it down next time? What was meant to be a simple compliment turns into a source of doubt. Backhanded compliments are like emotional landmines. They feel like love but explode with insecurity beneath the surface. The person giving them isn't just admiring you, they're measuring you, comparing you, and often trying to remind you that they believe you don't belong in that space. That energy tries to push you back into the safe zone of not too much and not too bold. You don't have to accept that. Your style, your choices, your boldness, they are your power. Don't let a disguised jab convince you otherwise. Sign 2, silent when you shine. There was a time when this person was your loudest cheerleader. Every post you shared, every little win you celebrated, they were right there, commenting, liking, sending hearts, cheering you on like your biggest fan. But then something shifted. You share a photo from your vacation, a milestone at work, or a new project you're excited about, and suddenly the comments stop. The likes fade. The support disappears like it never existed. You check again, hoping maybe you missed something, but no. Silence. And the silence is deafening. You start questioning yourself. Did I share too much? Was I showing off? Am I annoying them? Your mind spirals, trying to find a reason for their cold quiet. But it's not about you. Their silence is a sign of their discomfort with your glow. When people feel jealous, sometimes they pull away instead of confronting their feelings. They stop supporting because your success reminds them of what they want but haven't yet achieved. Instead of celebrating you, they retreat into silence, making you feel invisible when you should be celebrated. That silence can cut deeper than harsh words. It's confusing and painful because it comes from someone you care about. It makes you doubt your worth, your timing, even your right to be proud. But hear this clearly, your shine deserves to be seen and celebrated. If someone's silence dims your light, it's their loss, not yours. Your growth will always make some uncomfortable, and that's exactly why you must keep glowing. Take a moment to really sit with these signs. If you've experienced either, you're not imagining it. You're not overthinking. You're tuning into your truth. Recognizing these quiet forms of jealousy is the first step to protecting your peace and owning your power without apology. Sign 3, sudden competition. You've been doing your thing, setting your vibe, and creating in your own unique way. Then out of nowhere, someone starts mirroring you. They copy your style, your captions, even your projects. It's not just coincidence anymore, it feels intentional. They say things like, "Oh, I've been thinking about starting that too." I mean, anyone can do it. That casual comment carries a weight. It's like they're trying to downplay your originality, your creativity, your hard work. You wonder if it's admiration or thinly veiled shade. This moment makes your mind race. Did I inspire her? Or is this a subtle challenge? Are they trying to compete, or are they just jealous and don't know how to express it? You start questioning your impact. You wonder if you've been too visible, too bold, too early. But here's the truth, when someone starts copying you, it means you're leading. You're setting trends, breaking ground, and they're following your footsteps because you're showing the way. It's not a threat to your power, it's a confirmation of it. Your path is yours, and no imitation can replace the authenticity you bring. When others try to mimic your shine, it only proves you're shining too brightly for them to ignore. Sign 4, they joke too much. There's always that person who jokes about your success, laughing, teasing, pretending it's all lighthearted fun. Okay, Miss Influencer. Don't forget us when you're famous. The smile is wide, the laugh is loud, but underneath it, you feel something else. You feel small. Their jokes feel less like fun and more like a shield, a way to hide their discomfort around your rise. They try to keep things casual, but the jokes keep coming. It's a way to knock you down softly, to keep you from feeling too big. You smile and laugh back because it's easier than calling it out. But inside, their words linger. They echo in your mind long after the conversation ends. You wonder if they're really happy for you or if they're just afraid of losing their place. This kind of behavior is a mask for jealousy. It's a way to keep you from stepping fully into your power without having to admit they feel threatened. But your light is not a joke. Your journey is not a punchline. You deserve to be celebrated, not diminished. Recognizing these subtle signs is like learning a secret language. It's how you start decoding the energy around you without losing your peace or your confidence. It's how you build emotional armor that's soft but unbreakable. If you've felt these moments before, the copying, the jokes that sting disguised as fun, you're not alone. So many radiant rebels have walked this path and come out stronger. Remember, your glow invites others to show their true colors. And that's okay. It's not your job to fix their feelings or shrink for their comfort. Your power is your truth. Keep shining. Keep leading. Keep being unapologetically you. Sign 5, they use you as a mirror. This one is tricky because it feels personal. Imagine you're sharing a proud moment, maybe you're talking about a breakthrough, a fresh start, or just embracing yourself fully. Suddenly, the other person brings up their insecurities right in that moment. They say things like, "I wish I had your confidence. Must be nice not having stretch marks." Or maybe, "I could never be that brave to start over like you." On the surface, it sounds like vulnerability. But inside, it feels like a test. It puts you on the spot. You suddenly feel exposed, like you're carrying more than your own feelings, you're holding theirs too. You feel a heavy mix of guilt and confusion. You want to be supportive, but you didn't come here for this emotional weight. Their words interrupt your shine. They make your moment about their pain. This behavior is a form of jealousy wrapped in insecurity. They're reflecting their fears through you. Instead of celebrating your confidence, they use your light to highlight their shadows. And you, radiant rebel, start questioning yourself. Did I say too much? Should I have hidden that joy? Is it selfish to be proud when they feel low? Let me tell you this, your growth is not their problem. Your confidence is not a weapon. You have every right to own your moments without carrying the weight of someone else's fears. When someone uses you as a mirror for their insecurities, it's a sign they haven't healed enough to celebrate without comparison. And that's their journey, not yours. Sign 6, they gossip, then smile. This one hurts more than words. You see them online, posting support on your page. They like your posts, comment with emojis, and appear like your biggest fan. But behind closed doors, in group chats or private conversations, the story changes. You hear whispers, snide remarks, or even outright criticisms. People you trusted are sharing stories that make you question everything. They smile to your face but talk differently when you're not around. This duality creates a swirl of doubt in your mind. You replay every conversation, wondering what was real and what was a lie. You question your intuition. Did I misunderstand? Was I imagining the shade? This is classic jealousy disguised as friendship. When someone is truly happy for you, they don't need to gossip or undermine your progress in secret. The mental toll is exhausting. You want to trust, but the mixed signals break your heart. You feel alone in your success, isolated by the very people you thought had your back. Radiant Rebel, this is a painful but important lesson. Not everyone deserves your light. Some people are only comfortable loving you from a distance, or in public. Your true circle celebrates you fully, without hidden agendas or secret words. Sign 7, only claps when they're ahead. This sign is perhaps the most painful of all because it reveals a conditional love. When you're struggling, these people are right there, chatty, caring, sending messages of support. But when you rise, when you start winning, when your light becomes undeniable, they disappear. You notice the texts stop. The invitations dry up. The celebrations vanish. It's like your success pushed them out of the picture. And that's because their love had terms. They wanted you to stay small, to keep struggling, so they could feel needed, important, or safe. Your growth threatened their comfort zone, so they withdrew. This kind of love isn't love at all, it's control disguised as care. You learn, sometimes the hard way, that some people only want to support you when it benefits them. When they're ahead, they cheer loud. When you're ahead, they become quiet. That realization can shake you, but it's also liberating. It frees you from seeking approval from those who want to cage your light. You deserve unconditional love that celebrates every part of your journey, the messy beginnings and the victorious breakthroughs. If you've been there, you know this pain. You've felt the sting of love that came with strings attached. But here's your truth, you are worthy of love that lifts you up without limits. Pause with me here, radiant rebel. Recognizing these signs isn't about becoming cynical or closed off. It's about becoming aware. Awareness is the first step to freedom. When you can identify jealousy's quiet games, you stop letting it shake your confidence or dim your light. You create space for genuine connection and protect your energy from those who don't have your highest good at heart. Jealousy often looks like love, but it carries conditions and comparisons that drain your spirit. Real love is expansive, generous, and steady. It sees your growth as a blessing, not a threat. You have the power to choose who gets to be in your circle. To say yes to people who celebrate without hesitation. To say no to those who only clap when they're ahead or whisper behind your back. Your journey is sacred. Your light is sacred. Protect them fiercely. In the next section, we will explore exactly how to respond to jealousy when you see it, how to hold your power with grace, keep your softness intact, and continue to glow without guilt or fear. If this message resonates, share it with a radiant rebel who needs to hear this truth. Because together, we rise stronger. Your light is unstoppable. Radiant rebel. Let's go there. Deep. Real. Healing. The kind that reaches into the wounds jealousy left behind and reminds you that your power was never lost, only buried beneath the pain. This is about reclaiming your heart, your health, and your softness. Without guilt. Without apology. You've seen the signs. You've felt the silence, the fake smiles, the backhanded love. And maybe you've stayed quiet. Swallowed your truth. Shrunk yourself in the name of peace. But that silence, those swallowed emotions, they don't just disappear. They settle. In the body. In the spirit. In the heart. Jealousy, betrayal, unforgiveness, those aren't just emotional wounds. When we don't process them, they become physical burdens. Let's be honest. Constant stress from fake friendships. The ache of always having to defend your joy. The trauma of betrayal from people you once trusted with your most sacred moments, it all lives somewhere inside you. Not just in your thoughts. In your womb. Your heart. Your skin. Your immune system. Science is catching up to what women have known for generations. Toxic emotions can make you sick. Jealousy-induced betrayal, bitterness, emotional suppression, these patterns aren't harmless. They're heavy. They create chronic inflammation, which is linked to autoimmune disorders, fibroids, hormonal imbalance, even breast and womb-related issues. Think about how often you've carried stress in your belly. The way your lower back tightens when you're holding in your tears. The lump in your throat that never quite goes away. That's your body screaming for relief. So how do we begin to release it? How do we move from survival to softness again? We start with healing. Not surface-level positivity, but deep inner transformation. Not just get over it, but intentional practices that help you feel safe again, in your body, in your spirit, and around others. Here are some of the most powerful tools for healing emotional toxicity. 1. Somatic movement. The body holds what the mind can't speak. Somatic movement is about reconnecting with your body through gentle, mindful motion. This isn't about exercise for looks, it's movement for liberation. Close the door. Put on music. Let your body move how it wants. Shake. Stretch. Rock. Sway. Release. Cry if it comes. Laugh if it comes. This kind of movement helps the nervous system discharge stored trauma. It tells your body, we are safe now. Even 5 minutes a day can change your entire emotional state. 2. Yoga for emotional release. Yoga isn't just about flexibility. It's about emotional clarity. Specific postures, especially hip openers like pigeon pose, butterfly stretch, and child's pose, help release grief, fear, and resentment stored in the pelvic region and womb space. This is especially powerful for women who've experienced betrayal or rejection. Because whether we acknowledge it or not, we often carry emotional pain in our womb. Healing this area through breath, intention, and slow movement helps us reclaim our sensuality, creativity, and intuition. 3. Self-love rituals. Every time the world tries to convince you that you're too much or not enough, you get to rewrite that narrative. Start simple. Speak kindly to yourself, out loud. Instead of saying, I'm so stupid for trusting her, try, I was brave to love fully, and I deserve that same love in return. Instead of no one really supports me, try, I am learning to be my own sanctuary. Words are medicine when we use them with care. Make mirror talk part of your daily routine. Look into your eyes and say the things you needed to hear as a child, as a teen, as the woman you are now. 4. Positive self-talk that rebuilds you. Here are a few examples to start with. I trust myself more than I trust their opinion. My body hears every word I speak, I choose softness and kindness. Even if they never clap for me, I will always celebrate myself. Their jealousy is not my burden to carry. My glow is mine to protect. I deserve love that feels like peace, not confusion. I am safe, I am sacred, I am enough. Say these slowly. Repeat them. Write them on your mirror, in your journal, or on sticky notes around your room. The more you hear your own voice speaking love, the more your nervous system begins to believe it. 5. Womb healing practices. This is especially important for those who've experienced emotional betrayal from close female friends, partners, or family. That pain often lodges in the womb space, the very center of your feminine energy. Castor oil packs, gentle belly massage, herbal teas like red raspberry leaf, and guided meditations that focus on the womb area can help release tension and invite healing. This isn't just physical. It's symbolic. You're telling your body, you no longer need to hold what hurt me. I release it with love. 6. Emotional boundaries plus detoxing your circle. Healing also means protecting what you've just cleansed. You cannot heal in the same energy that broke you. If someone has shown you they only love you when you're small, believe them. Distance doesn't mean bitterness. It means clarity. You can love people from a distance and still choose yourself. The more you protect your peace, the less room jealousy has to sneak in. Make it a routine to check in with your relationships. Ask yourself, do I feel safe here? Or do I feel like I need to shrink to keep the peace? 7. Radical forgiveness for yourself, too. This isn't about excusing people who hurt you. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself. Because holding on to bitterness can start to feel like carrying glass inside your body, it cuts every time you breathe. Forgive them for being broken. Forgive yourself for not seeing it sooner. And forgive the version of you that kept going back just to feel loved. You deserve more. Always have. 8. Become your own safe space. Even if the world rejects you, even if the friend group crumbles, even if the love wasn't returned, never stop choosing yourself. Never stop rooting for you. You were never too much. You were never the problem. You are not dramatic for feeling. You are not wrong for noticing. And you are not alone. Make a daily commitment to being your own biggest cheerleader. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Take yourself on solo dates. Buy yourself flowers. Compliment your reflection. Wrap your arms around yourself when you cry. Say, "I've got you" out loud, and mean it. Healing from the emotional damage that jealousy and betrayal can bring isn't a quick fix. It's a journey. But every single act of care you give yourself, every movement, every word, every boundary, is a form of liberation. Radiant Rebel, the most powerful thing you can do isn't to convince others to love you better. It's to love yourself so deeply, so loudly, that anything less than that becomes unacceptable. You don't need their validation to rise. You don't need their applause to feel worthy. You don't need anyone's permission to reclaim your peace. Your glow is sacred. Protect it. Nourish it. And never let the shadow of jealousy block your light again. Keep going. Keep healing. Keep choosing you. Every day. Always. And if this spoke to your soul, share this with another radiant rebel who needs to hear that healing is possible. Joy is her birthright, and she was never too much, just too real for the wrong people. Affirmations and meditation are more than just soft practices with cute aesthetics. They are powerful tools for rewiring the mind, calming the nervous system, and reprogramming the way we see ourselves and the world. When used with intention and consistency, they don't just change your mood, they change your energy. And your energy is what determines the kind of relationships, opportunities, and peace you attract. Radiant Rebel, let's make this real and tangible. Think about how your body reacts when you're surrounded by drama, judgment, or fake support. Your chest tightens. Your stomach knots. You start overthinking. Your voice might even shake. That's not just in your head. That's your nervous system going into fight, flight, or freeze mode. When the people around you are unpredictable or passive-aggressive, your body registers that emotional threat the same way it would physical danger. This is why healing isn't just about letting go of the past, it's about soothing your nervous system so that you can show up as your whole self without bracing for impact. When you make space for daily grounding practices like affirmations and meditation, you're sending a signal to your body that you are safe. That you are in control. That you are no longer available for chaos, inconsistency, or disrespect. Over time, this level of peace becomes your new baseline. And what happens when you start living from a place of calm confidence instead of constant defense? You attract people who match that energy. High-value friendships, emotionally mature partners, supportive communities, those things begin to find you because you've stopped vibrating on the frequency of survival and started operating from a place of overflow. Here's how you can start incorporating this into your daily life without needing to rearrange your schedule or commit to something unrealistic. 2 minutes of grounding while brushing your teeth. Every morning, while you brush your teeth, let your mirror be your altar. Look yourself in the eyes. Slow down. Repeat just 1 or 2 affirmations aloud, yes, with the toothbrush in your hand. This isn't about perfection. It's about presence. Try. I am grounded, calm, and deeply protected. My day begins with peace, and I move through it with grace. I only attract what supports and expands me. Even those 2 minutes create a ripple effect. You step into your day with intention, not reaction. Set an affirmation reminder midday. Set a silent reminder on your phone, maybe right before lunch or after a stressful task, that simply pops up with a phrase like, "You are safe to be seen," or "Take up space, beautifully." These gentle cues help bring you back to center when the world tries to pull you off balance. It's like giving your nervous system a mini reset button. Evening wind down practice. Before bed, place one hand over your heart and one over your belly. Close your eyes for just 60 seconds. Breathe deeply. Slowly. Let yourself come down from the day. Say silently or out loud, "I release what isn't mine to carry. I am proud of how I showed up today. I deserve deep rest and safe love. I let go with peace. I rise again tomorrow with purpose." This becomes your ritual. A declaration. A way of telling your body and spirit, we are safe. We are loved. We are okay. Mini meditation moments. If you have time in the morning, or even just 3 to 5 minutes, sit still and breathe. That's it. No fancy music, no complex visualizations. Just inhale through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and exhale slowly through your mouth. As you breathe, imagine the air softening your body. With every inhale, bring in peace. With every exhale, release tightness, shame, or comparison. You don't need a 30-minute meditation. You just need presence. And the benefits? Let's talk about what you can look forward to. You'll begin to feel more emotionally grounded, even when others are projecting their insecurities. You'll stop overthinking how to respond, because you'll trust your instincts more. You'll attract healthier connections, people who meet you with emotional safety, respect, and joy. Your body will feel more relaxed. Less bloating, fewer headaches, deeper sleep. Your spirit will stop begging for approval and start overflowing with self-validation. When your energy changes, so does your environment. You no longer tolerate the friend who only shows up when you're struggling. You stop begging for crumbs of attention from people who don't even clap when you win. You move differently. You love yourself better. And that love radiates. To help you ground this practice right now, I want to offer you something special. This is your affirmation release. Your emotional permission slip. Say these slowly. Pause between each one. Let them settle into your spirit. Save this moment. Play it back when you forget how powerful your piece is. I do not shrink. I am allowed to shine. My glow is not an apology. I do not explain my elevation. Let them gossip. I glow. I attract love that feels like home. I speak to myself with care, not criticism. My body is sacred. My presence is medicine. I choose softness without losing strength. My peace is not up for negotiation. Even if they never understand me, I honor myself anyway. I release their jealousy. I release their judgment. I release the fear they projected onto me. I return to myself, whole, radiant, and grounded. Keep this close. Repeat it daily if you can. If not, whenever your spirit needs a reminder. You are not hard to love. You are not too loud. You are not asking for too much. You're just learning how to love yourself in a way no one ever taught you. You're learning how to make your nervous system feel safe in a world that tried to silence your shine. And that is beautiful. That is brave. That is sacred. You've done the hard part, you've woken up to what you no longer deserve. Now comes the soft, steady rebuild. And I promise, Radiant Rebel, what's ahead is softer, deeper, and more aligned than anything you've had to release. Keep watering yourself. Keep affirming your worth. Keep choosing peace, even if no one else claps for it. You are your home. You are your healer. You are your light. And no shade, no silence, no fake love can ever dim that. Radiant Rebels, I want to pause here with you. We've uncovered the signs. We've broken down how jealousy hides in plain sight, how it touches your mind, your body, your peace. But right now, I want to hold space for you. I want to know your heart. Your story. Because you're not alone in this. So here's my question. What was your wake-up moment, the one that made you realize someone was secretly jealous of you? Was it a shift in their energy? A joke that hit too hard? Or was it silence when you needed their loudest love? I asked this exact question recently in our Radiant Rebel circle, and Mary's story has stayed with me ever since. Mary had been in a relationship with her boyfriend for nearly 10 years. High school sweethearts turned long-term partners. She used to call him her best friend. The one who knew her dreams inside and out. But something started shifting when she began to level up. It started with small wins, a new job, her first solo vacation, growing confidence in how she looked and carried herself. She was glowing differently, and people noticed. He noticed too, but not with pride. Mary said the first red flag was when she got a promotion at work. He didn't even congratulate her. Instead, he asked, "You sure you're ready for all that responsibility?" It stung. But she brushed it off. Until it became a pattern. He would downplay her efforts, mock her ideas, and bring up his own goals as if to compete. "I could have started my own business too, I just don't want to sell out like everyone else." That was his response the day she launched hers. The jealousy turned subtle. Then sharp. He began nitpicking her appearance. Complaining when she wore makeup. Questioning the time she spent on herself. Mary told me that the moment it clicked was during her birthday dinner. She had planned everything herself because he said he was too busy to organize stuff like that. As she stood there, in a dress she felt beautiful in, surrounded by her closest friends, she looked at him, and he looked irritated. No smile. No warmth. Just resentment. She said, "I saw it in his eyes. I realized, he wasn't proud of me. He was jealous of me." Mentally, it left her spiraling. For years, she thought she was the problem, too ambitious, too confident, too seen. Emotionally, it shattered her sense of safety and love. She had given him loyalty. He gave her quiet envy. That was her wake-up moment. Now let me tell you about Sarha. Her pain cuts even deeper, because it came from the one person she never expected, her own blood sister. Sarha was always the quiet one, the soft one. She didn't brag. She didn't compete. But she had something that made her stand out. Maybe it was her beauty. Maybe it was her softness. Maybe it was her glow that she didn't even realize she carried. Her older sister had always been the center of attention in the family. Loud. Outspoken. Fierce. But when Sarha started getting noticed, when people began complimenting her, when boys started asking for her number, it sparked something dark. She thought it was just tension. Sibling rivalry. Nothing serious. Until one day, she got a call from her sister asking her to meet up at a local park. "Just us," she said. "I miss you." When Sarha got there, she was ambushed. 8 girls. Fists. Screams. No warning. They pulled her to the ground and beat her. She tried to fight back, but they grabbed her hair, ripped it from her scalp. One of the girls even filmed it while laughing. Sarha woke up in the hospital with stitches, bruises, and patches of missing hair. And her sister? She never showed up. Never visited. Didn't even apologize. The truth came out weeks later. Her sister had set her up. Told the girls she was too pretty, too stuck up, and needed to be humbled. That wasn't just betrayal. That was emotional violence wrapped in jealousy. And it came from someone who shared her blood. Sarha told me she couldn't speak for days. Her voice, her spirit, her sense of safety, all stolen. It wasn't just the physical pain that broke her. It was knowing that the person who should have protected her the most was the one who orchestrated her deepest wound. That was her wake-up moment. And it changed her forever. So, Radiant Rebel, how did it make you feel? Mentally, maybe you questioned your worth. Maybe you silenced your joy. Maybe you started downplaying your wins to avoid the tension. Emotionally, maybe you felt isolated. Confused. Like celebrating yourself was a threat to the people who were supposed to love you the most. I want you to know, what you experienced wasn't your fault. That pain wasn't love. And you are not wrong for shining. You are not to blame for their brokenness. You said you stopped sharing your wins to keep peace. I felt that. You said you celebrated others louder than they ever celebrated you. I felt that too. And if you're watching the replay, don't be shy. I read your comments. Talk to me. I want to hear your story. Not just the pain, but the power that came after it. Because here's the truth, once you name it, you stop carrying it alone. Let's be real, have you ever walked into a room and felt something shift? The smile was there, but the energy wasn't right. Maybe you've questioned yourself. Am I imagining this? No, you're not. That off feeling? That's silent envy. Hidden hate dressed up as fake support. Today, we're exposing it all, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And baby, that's when the glow-up really begins. Meet Nia. She always believed that real friends were supposed to celebrate you. So when she landed a six-figure promotion, the first person she called was her childhood bestie, Shay. Shay answered on the second ring. "Wow, congrats. I mean, I didn't think they'd pick you, but that's huge." They laughed. But later, Nia sat in the quiet. That sentence kept echoing. "I didn't think they'd pick you." At first, she brushed it off. Shay had always been a little blunt. But things started feeling different. Shay stopped calling. Stopped showing up. And when they were together, the compliments started coming with a sting. "That's a cute outfit. You're really doing the most now, huh? You always have to be so extra these days." Nia was heartbroken. She thought she was imagining it. But her spirit felt drained every time they spoke. She started shrinking herself, downplaying her wins, laughing off the jabs, and pretending it didn't hurt. But inside, she was unraveling. She started questioning her worth. Wondering if maybe she was too much. Maybe she had changed. Her joy started fading, not because of failure, but because someone she loved couldn't clap without competition in their heart. And the worst part? Shay wasn't just a friend. She was like a sister. That betrayal cuts deeper than any stranger ever could. Let me know if you've ever felt this way too. Someone you love claps for you, but something feels off. Drop an emoji if your intuition ever warned you before your heart caught on. This video is for every radiant rebel who's ever felt guilty for glowing. We're breaking down the signs of hidden jealousy, the ones masked by fake support, shady compliments, and secret envy. Because once you learn to spot it, you'll never doubt yourself again. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to protect your peace, stand tall in your success, and never shrink again for anyone else's comfort. And if this message hits home, share this video with someone who needs it. Subscribe if you're ready to keep your circle solid and your energy protected. Your glow deserves to be safe. What jealousy really looks like. Jealousy doesn't always show up loud. It doesn't wear a label. Sometimes, it walks in dressed as support, wrapped in a smile, and whispers just low enough to make you question yourself. It sounds like a compliment, but something in the tone feels sharp. Dismissive. Off. "You're so lucky. I could never wear something that tight." They say it with a smirk, arms crossed, eyes scanning you like a checklist. Or this one. "You really posted that? Girl, you're bold." They laugh, but it's that laugh that isn't quite a laugh. It's laced with judgment. And suddenly, you feel exposed. And here's the worst part, these comments come from people you thought were in your corner. People you trusted. So, you don't just brush it off. You absorb it. You go home and start thinking. Was I doing too much? Did I look desperate? Maybe I should tone it down next time. And just like that, the spiral begins. You start shrinking. Not physically, but energetically. You wear less color. You laugh a little softer. You stop sharing your wins. You hesitate before posting, speaking, shining. Why? Because deep down, that whisper stuck to your confidence like a stain. It's not always about what they say, it's about how it makes you feel. And if you've ever walked away from a conversation feeling drained, small, or suddenly unsure of yourself, that's not you being insecure. That's your intuition catching the jealousy before your mind could explain it. This is exactly why spotting jealousy early is so important. Because when you can see it clearly, you stop internalizing it. You stop carrying the weight of someone else's insecurity. And the truth is, most of the time, their envy isn't even about you. It's about what you represent. Your confidence. Your growth. Your light. And that can be hard for someone who still hasn't found their own. But you don't owe anyone the dimming of your glow. Radiant rebels, if this is hitting you deep, say it out loud. No more shrinking for people who pretend to clap but secretly crumble when you rise. You deserve friendships that feel like sunlight. Not shadow. Not shade. Drop a comment if this hit you. If you've ever doubted your shine because of someone else's silence, sarcasm, or fake praise, you are not alone. And you don't have to carry that confusion any longer. This glow up? It's yours. And no secret shade can stop it. Share this with a friend who needs to hear this. And subscribe if you're ready to step into your full power, unapologetically, beautifully, and boldly. You're not just glowing, you're awakening. Why people get jealous, intimate, and imperfect. Let's really unpack this together, because it's something so many of us feel, but rarely talk about. Jealousy doesn't just show up out of nowhere. It's a reaction. A response. A reflection of someone's inner world, not your outer glow. But when you're on the receiving end, it can feel confusing, isolating, and honestly, really painful. We're taught to look for enemies and strangers, but the deepest stings often come from the people sitting right next to us. The friend who used to hype you up, now makes little digs. The cousin who used to dream with you, goes silent the moment your dreams become real. The coworker who smiled through your struggle, suddenly turns cold when you start rising. That switch up feels so personal, doesn't it? It feels like betrayal, rejection, abandonment. But what if I told you, it's not really about you? Here's what most people won't admit. Jealousy is just unhealed insecurity. It's what shows up when someone sees you doing, becoming, or living in a way that challenges what they believe is possible for themselves. You become a mirror. Not of who they are, but of who they aren't yet. Or who they were too scared to become. And sometimes, people mistake your glow as arrogance, when really, it's healing. It's joy. It's your hard work finally blooming. But instead of asking how you did it, or clapping because you made it through, they retreat. They pull back. Because your confidence triggers their doubt. Your peace disrupts their chaos.